Ajay Amlani is the CEO of Aware Incorporated. Their ticker symbol is AWRE. We cannot get him on the show enough to learn about what they are doing. Ajay, welcome back.
Aware they released a global commissioned report on the state of biometrics and AI security. And this should, if you read the first 4 lines, this should make you snap to attention, right, AJ? I mean, it's
absolutely.
We need to be paying more attention to this. And I think we are, but we're not as much as we think we are. I mean, based on a survey of 500 senior leaders across the UK and Brazil, 90% are concerned, 50% experience AI fraud. And here comes, I mean, if that's the case, then this needs to be a metric, a line item on your expense. This is as important as human capital. This is as important as having a building. It's as important as anything. It's more important than Wi-Fi. And I can't think of many things more important than Wi-Fi. Talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what we realized was by surveying 500 major leaders across different sectors, law enforcement, aviation, financial services, and healthcare, what we realized, and also government, is that a lot of people are utilizing biometrics to be able to protect their systems, but they're really concerned about AI attacks. And being able to use different solutions, being able to actually have different vendors, being able to have different use cases that you can actually light up, biometric orchestration becomes a really appealing thing for them. This is about 98% of the respondents, 98% were interested in a biometric orchestration platform. And that's actually exactly what our DNA has always been with many of the major customers that we've had within the government vertical. That's in fact also what we're now bringing into the commercial sector as well, which is a biometric orchestration platform.
AJ, as the Claudes, the Chat GBTs, the Costa AIs of the world come onto the scene, does the risk go up for fraudulent and nefarious activity?
It really does. It goes up dramatically. Fundamentally, the kinds of tools that were in the hands of the bad actors historically, those tools and the access to those tools has been democratized, right? So yeah. Access to those tools are now available to well over 35% of the overall population of the world. And that's at their fingertips. So when you put those types of extremely high-level tools that were normally in the hands of state actors, state-sponsored actors, bad actors in particular, now in the hands of any bad actor in a dorm room or in in a coding farm or somewhere else like that overseas, you now give them and you're arming them with best-in-class capabilities, which means basically corporations and individuals need to arm themselves with best-in-class capabilities to protect their identities. And that's exactly what Aware can bring to them, which is that technology that can protect their identity, that can verify that they are who they say they are in a convenient way. There's nothing more secure and nothing more convenient than just looking in the camera. We're all used to being able to verify ourselves with our face. So being able to do that in a frictionless fashion by using the tools that are available to us on our forward-facing camera on our phone or the forward-facing camera on our desktop to verify that you are who you say you are without constantly changing passwords or solving CAPTCHAs or doing all kinds of other things like that.
Ajay Amlani is the CEO of Aware Incorporated. Their ticker symbol is AWRE. Website aware.com.
Hey, AJ, you were just talking about frictionless usage and how to deal with all this. And within your company, though, or within companies and organizations that are trying to avoid this, I'm reading this stat that 40% of these businesses are using 4 to 5 vendors to help with this. That is fragmentation and probably cause for a lot of friction internally in the businesses. Is that something that your company helps streamline?
Yeah, our platform allows for you to orchestrate between these different vendors, constantly staying best in class, making sure that new innovations in the market you can ingest, and then also being able to toggle between them so that you're not dependent on any one particular vendor. Nobody likes to be handcuffed to one vendor. Nobody likes to be completely dependent and tied. So being able to test between different ones, seeing who's best in class, or seeing which technology is better for different use cases. If you're using it in a financial services sense, let's say online on a phone, that might be different than a vendor you want to use on a desktop. That might be different than a vendor you want to use in branch. And so the technology that allows you to be able to do that and the hardware and the software that allows you to do that is stuff that we can orchestrate in a very clear fashion using just simple workflow development and sometimes even AI-enabled workflows to give you the best in class, but just by clicking a button.
Ajay Amlani, CEO, Aware Incorporated. AWRE is the ticker symbol.
I want to talk to you, and this is my favorite subject with you, and that's combating deepfakes. This is a big problem, and of the 44 or 50% of these companies that experience AI fraud, I'm assuming that deepfake is a problem, is a big piece of this, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Deepfakes are readily available now. There's commercial software anywhere that you go that can allow you to be able to actually deepfake yourself. Initially, it just started as like a fun game. Hey, let me see what I look like 10 years younger, 20 years younger, right? Let me get rid of different blemishes on my face, or let me like get rid of this crazy nose hook that I have here.
There was an app that you could make any one of your friends look like they're 90 or 500 pounds. I forget what it was called, but you could just plug your friend's face into it, and it would age them.
Super fun,
That's
right?
when it was fun, AJ. That was just a good time.
Yeah, these things are hilarious. Like, as COVID hit and everybody was on video calls all the time, yeah, sure. Like, I would love to be a pink unicorn on certain calls, and like, it would be hilarious to be able to do, right? But nowadays, like, this stuff is actually causing massive fraud. You can impersonate somebody else real time by just lifting a video that you get on YouTube. All you need is 10 seconds of video with their voice, and you can completely create AI that can impersonate somebody. So our technology basically allows you to measure the three-dimensionality of the face, verify that it's a live human being, look at different things like skin pores and skin translucency and reflections of light off of your skin, and different things that basically would identify that the image coming through has been doctored. And so we've been tested by the Department of Homeland Security in their most recent river testing to be some of the best in class technology in the market, and made ourselves available for people to be able to trust the biometrics that are coming through.
I want to bring this up because I've had a lot of experience in this back in the day in terms of females will send a photograph prior to your coffee date, and every one of them is doctored up. And it looks and with the AI stuff, because you can tell if you expand something, it looks like they have the little sparkly filter or the fuzzy filter or whatever they have on there. The AI stuff, if you open up a picture, it has that same sort of, as real as it looks like a doctored up picture. How do you determine the difference between some gal that's just trying to show her best side, or some guy that's trying to show his best side, because it happens on both sides, and this type of stuff? Because it's got to be proprietary technology within that is either counting pixels or looking at stuff that we're not looking at, correct?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And you really do need to know how the person looks, like fundamentally for real, through the camera. I mean, if you're trying to hire for a different role, let's say that you're a cybersecurity company or the federal government. I'm sitting here in Washington, D.C. right now in my hotel room. I mean, talk about the vulnerability that basically organizations would have and government agencies would have. If you can't verify that the person that you're actually interviewing for a job is in fact in front of the camera at the time, in Kansas, they might not be in Kansas. They might be in another country like North Korea. And this is happening constantly. People are setting up their own LinkedIn profiles. People are setting up their own fictitious identities, and synthetic identities is really what it's called. But what biometrics can do is not only verify that you are in front of the camera at the same time, they can match your face against the photo that's on record. They can also take all the photos on record and cross-match them against themselves to say, hey, this one person is in fact real, but they've got 7 different accounts, all of them with different names. And so 75% of the people that we surveyed included liveness, the technology called liveness, in their fraud plans. And they really want to and need to have better technology to be able to implement it and secure the biometrics.
Before we go really fast, I saw a reel come through, and somebody was doing a Zoom call with who they thought was an AI or a deep fake. And they said, hey, can you put your 2 fingers in front of your face? And the person was saying, oh, that's silly. Why are you asking me to do that? And for some reason, if they can't do this, then you know it's a deep fake. I don't know if that's a real way to test or not, but the person or the deep fake couldn't do that maneuver, and they were trying to get out ways around it. It was kind of an interesting video.
I got a question real quickly. The question is this. After the press release today showing this, and inclusive of all the things that we brought up today, how does that change your focus or your direction for the remainder of the year and the next, let's say, 3 to 5 years? Or does it? Was none of this a surprise to you?
Honestly, it is a surprise. We knew that this was going to be important, which is exactly why we actually invested in the technology to be able to allow for biometric orchestration. Our biometric orchestration platform today is in the hands of a lot of the largest government agencies here in the United States and abroad. Governments have been adopting biometrics for decades, and have recognized the need to be able to choose between different vendors, some of which are best in class in some use cases, and some of them are better in other use cases. So they needed a platform that can basically orchestrate between all of that. But now commercial companies are actually becoming a lot more sophisticated with their use of biometrics, finally catching up to a lot of the government sector. In this one case, and in some other cases, like government is in fact ahead of the private sector on adoption of biometrics. And so the need for this kind of a platform is really powerful, and commercial companies are really looking to try to adopt it.
That's going to
The
help your
numbers were
sales.
staggering.
That's going to help your sales force.
Mary,
focus.
Sully, hold up your fingers.
Hold up your fingers.
Come on, show we're
Is
not
that real?
fakes.
I'm telling you, that's
out.
real.
See, AJ did it too.
He
We're
did it.
all
He's real. He's real.
Is that where this comes from?
AJ, thank you.
Hey,
Ajay Amlani, CEO, Aware Incorporated. AWRE is the ticker symbol.